Okay.
You're running out, aren't you?
No, it's fine.
So here's the thing, Miss Pugh. I appreciate your position, but listen,
Respectfully, Your Honor,
Miss Pugh,
with
don't
my
speak over me.
incarceration, respectfully, Your Honor, with my incarceration being
Miss
involved-
Pugh, just because you say respectfully does not mean that you get to interrupt me. That's disrespectful, right? Hang on. Listen to me. Everything you have there is overruled. And here's one of the reasons. Good morning. Are you Janetta Pugh?
I am the beneficiary of that estate, Your Honor.
You're the what?
I am the beneficiary of that estate. Your Honor.
You're the beneficiary of what estate? Answer my questions, please, ma'am. I'm just trying to understand.
Beneficiary of that estate.
Okay. What's the announcement?
Judge, it's my understanding that Ms. Pugh and her family has retained an attorney on this matter. You may, I don't know if you remember, Judge, this is when I was originally appointed on, and we were on the trial docket. She hired a new attorney at that point. Mr. Norwood, who was on the case for a while and then withdrew. And once recently, when the case came back to me, I visited with her and I was told that they did retain another attorney. I was given the name of Christopher Wiley this morning, but I have not heard from him. And my understanding is that at this point still hasn't filed anything with the court.
Okay.
But I've been told that that's who's supposed to be taking over the case.
Okay.
For the record, I recognize Ms. Pugh. She's been here before.
I do as well, for the record.
And I looked into Mr. Christopher Wiley. I can't find that person as a practicing lawyer in the state bar page, and I have not been contacted by anybody on Ms. Pugh's behalf.
All right. So, Ms. Pugh, Mr. Lewis has been appointed to represent you at this point. Obviously, you know as well as anyone that you're in custody and we want to get your case taken care of. If you've hired or your family has hired another lawyer, then they have to contact the court so that we can do something with your case. And do you know if they've hired someone?
Respectfully, Your Honor, I do not agree.
Things are getting tense fast. Judge Boyd is trying to determine something very basic, who is actually representing the defendant, but instead of getting a clear answer, she's met with arguments about conflicts of interest and challenges to the court's authority. That's rarely a good sign. At this stage, the court simply wants the case to move forward, but the defendant appears focused on procedural objections. Do you think this strategy is helping her case or making things worse?
Agree with your appointed foreign agents, considering that the first duty is to the state and will be considered conflict of interest. You know?
Okay, so if you don't want, the only thing I can do, I'm appointing an attorney to you to help you, right? So if you don't want a court-appointed attorney, then your only option, two things. One is to represent yourself or to hire a lawyer. So if you don't like the way it works, then you do something different. So are you, listen to what I'm saying. Are you either going to represent yourself? Or are you going to let Mr. Lewis represent you? Or are you going to hire someone?
Objection, Your Honor. Respectfully, is this a court of record?
It is a court of record. So your objection's overruled.
Okay. Respectfully, Your Honor, where is the verified claim that is being placed against me?
This is the first major collision between the defendant's arguments and the court's position. Judge Boyd points directly to the indictment as the formal legal claim, while Ms. Pugh insists there is insufficient evidence and demands immediate release. Legally speaking, an indictment is enough to move a criminal case forward. It doesn't require the court to prove guilt at this stage. The gap between what the defendant believes and what the court is explaining is becoming impossible to ignore.
It's right here. It's called an indictment. And Mr. Lewis has a copy of it and he can show it to you. So that would be the verified claim against you.
Okay. Your Honor, respectfully, Your Honor, there were writs that was filed to the case that still haven't been received.
I've received your petition for writ of habeas corpus and it's denied.
Okay. Respectfully, Your Honor, I demand to be released due to lack of evidence of stated claim and not being given the proper opportunity to obtain proper counsel, defective defense.
It's overruled.
Now the frustration level is clearly rising on both sides. Notice how the judge repeatedly tries to explain the legal process, but the conversation keeps circling back to the same objections. Courtrooms run on procedure, and judges expect parties to follow that process whether they agree with it or not. When interruptions begin stacking up, attention shifts away from the legal argument and toward courtroom conduct. That's a dangerous shift because credibility can matter almost as much as the argument itself.
Okay.
You're running out, aren't you?
No, it's fine.
So here's the thing, Ms. Pugh. I appreciate your position, but listen,
Respectfully, Your Honor,
Ms. Pugh, don't speak over me.
Respectfully, Your Honor, with my incarceration.
Ms. Pugh, just because you say respectfully does not mean that you get to interrupt me. That's disrespectful.
Here's the turning point. Judge Boyd makes it clear that any legal challenges must be filed through an attorney using proper motions, not argued through repeated interruptions in open court. This isn't about silencing someone. It's about following established legal procedure. The judge now presents three choices: accept appointed counsel, hire private counsel, or represent yourself. If you were facing serious charges, would you trust your own legal knowledge or rely on professional representation?
Right? Hang on. Listen to me. Everything you have there is overruled. And here's one of the reasons why, is because you have a lawyer and your lawyer will file the appropriate motion. You're interrupting me again, which is disrespectful. So I'm going to leave Mr. Lewis as your attorney unless you choose to represent yourself or hire someone else. I'm going to give you 2 weeks to determine what you're going to do. You can go back. You can go back with the bailiff.
I do not agree or comply to your appointed.
Go back.
Agents.
You already said that, and that's overruled.
Is to the state.
Go back with the bailiff.
The hearing ends with a firm ruling and a clear deadline. Judge Boyd keeps appointed counsel in place for now and gives Ms. Pugh 2 weeks to decide whether she wants to hire an attorney or proceed on her own. No release is granted, the objections are overruled, and the case moves forward under standard court procedures. This hearing highlights how critical legal representation and courtroom conduct can be. If you found this case as intense as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful courtroom breakdowns.
Get your own attorney or represent yourself if you don't like it.